go. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat,
looking
I
at the
don't know, my rap, my blood
youngest
boils over
rising
like,
star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a fuck up real bad. Shut up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Heal the Ring podcast. I'm your host, Samurai.
Wow, can you be more enthusiastic?
I know I can't.
Why?
That's my natural tone of voice.
Sorry, people. He's still green, but he has so much potential. He
Okay, Conrad Thompson. God damn.
That's my natural tone of voice, dude.
Yo, Heel, do you ever realize you look like Conrad?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Conrad Thompson here. How you
Hey,
doing?
it's Conrad. Do you buy or rent your home? Sure you do. No, I'm kidding.
All right, let's just get into it.
All right.
I had to get it this way, though. I mean, hey, for the meme.
All right.
Alright.
Okay. First, to start Raw, we had Riddle come out and give a promo about Randy Orton and their tag team loss on Friday Night SmackDown. Basically, saying that Randy's basically working injured. And how does that make you feel, Weston? Or heel? Excuse me.
Yeah, heel. How dare you break kayfabe? And how does it make me feel? I'll be honest with you. I was really invested in this feud, but it was kind of weird because I wasn't really emotionally invested. That makes sense. I was more like interested in how the match would go, and obviously I didn't really watch SmackDown. I saw highlights of it once I saw that they dropped the titles, and then on Raw when they showed the just like the recap of it and all that. And when Riddle cut this promo, I was like, man, now all of a sudden, I'm really, really emotionally invested in Riddle. Like, to me, this was him becoming Riddle. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
while he was in the tag team, he just felt like just Riddle, if you know what I mean. But now he's slowly becoming Riddle. Like, this man, you can tell, he's on the edge of breaking into his prime. He is on the edge of becoming that main eventer, dare I say, that WWE wants him to be. Because I think we all see the potential that Riddle has. And now that he has the emotional drive behind him, like, I'll be honest with you, I think he has the potential to be almost like Daniel Bryan-esque in the sense of like the face he's becoming. And when you get a pop like that off of just a promo, you know that you're into something huge that is about to happen, and it was just entertaining and amazing, and I can't wait to see where this all goes.
Okay. How about you, MK?
It was a pretty strong promo from Riddle. A lot of emotion from Riddle. Yeah, right there. Which I don't necessarily.
And that picture, I mean, you can just tell like this man has a lot of like acting chops and all that, because like the way he sold that promo was absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, what he does. I mean, he's always been good, but that
Well,
promo was very emotional and it was very heartfelt. But they
yeah,
were go
yeah.
ahead.
But as you saw in the picture, though, I mean, when it comes to like cutting promos or anything like that, it's your facial expressions go a long way. And the way that picture sells it, it tells you everything. You know what they say: a look can go a long way. And even if he probably didn't like, I'll just say this: Riddle's a phenomenal actor, and he just sold this promo tremendously. And I actually felt like he was genuinely like sad that was all happening. Like even if Randy is okay and he was watching at his couch in St. Louis or whatever, like I actually felt like this whole entire thing was real.
Yeah,
It's still real to me.
he's taking time off, according to everything. Yeah, people that I've heard, and he's taking time off, which is good because he may or may not have a broken back, quote unquote, but
Now
he's good.
let's let MK go because he's about to go Goldberg on us. I feel like.
No, I mean, it was a strong promo. I mean, you guys basically just said the whole entire. I was just gonna repeat what y'all just said, that Riddle. This was a very strong babyface promo from Riddle, and this is really getting me interested to an eventual Riddle Roman Reigns match down the road, which I'm looking forward to, and which this promo did lead to the 6-man tag between the
Which which was actually next.
yeah,
Yes.
yes. So I mean, you can go ahead.
Well, just to sum it all up, the promo led to a 6-man tag, which was the Street Profits and Riddle versus the Usos and Sami Zayn, which is on the screen right now.
Oh
So
yeah, there's a family picture of them together. See, they've been there since day one ish. All
day
of them.
one ish.
Yeah, and you can tell they're family, right?
Definitely,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, Sami Zayn just happened to not be as tan.
yeah. He's literally the redheaded stepchild of the NOI family.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah, and not as successful, but hey, he still went places. I mean, one of
Exactly.
the should I say one of the best stars in NXT history, as far as like, if you go back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, just to what did you guys thought about the 6-man tag as a whole?
Well, that was my question. What do
Oh
you
yeah.
Yeah, you're not the host, MK. What are you trying to do here, man?
what did you think of the exactly? What did you think? Exactly what he said. What did you think of the 6-man tag and as a whole, MK? Since you stole my thunder.
Yeah, since you're something enthusiastic, go first.
No, I thought the 6 men. Well, if y'all can do your job. No, I'm kidding. um, no, I thought the 6-man tag was a lot of fun. Sami Zayn is continuously being the MVP of this company. He can just make anything work. I like this storyline with him being an affiliate to the Bloodline, which is really hilarious. Especially him coming out with the T-shirt and everything. It's great. But overall, it was a fun 6-man tag to open up the show. So.
All right. And yeah, as for me, as you saw in the picture a while ago, Riddle was actually wrestling with a lot of emotion. He was really aggressive in a few moves. The way he delivered everything in his match was just wonderful to the story. And eventually, down the line, obviously the Usos would abandon Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn had his best impersonation of the pink song, "Please Don't Leave Me," and then, Riddle will get the W.
Yes,
And
Riddle got the win with a what he did an RKO. Yes,
yeah, RKO,
a
and
tribute to his best friend Randy Orton.
yes,
Yeah, that happened. Now the next next segment, which was I gotta get it first. The next segment, which happened to take us to.
Oh yeah, and there you go. The pose with Randy Orton's
It was
signature pose
the
at the end, and that actually was really emotional for me at the end. I can't believe we all forgot to bring that up, but yeah, that was a really emotional thing for me at the end. And like I said, Riddle is selling this feud to a T.
Okay, if I could get to it anyway. The second match was actually, you know what? Out next was Judgment Day, and Judgment Day cut a promo.
wasn't it the Lashley segment that came before it?
No, was it? No, was it? Yes, actually, you know what? I'm all mixed up in my notes here.
Yeah, it was Lashley and MVP's promo segment, which, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just going for the show, folks.
Hey, we're live. Anything can happen.
We're live there, pal.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, actually, no.
Yeah.
It was Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus AJ Styles and Liv Morgan. I guess Judgment Day came out and cut a promo, and you know, it was just basically the same thing that they talked about the entire time they've been together. What do you think about the promo and the following match, MK?
Promo was really good. My only, and I think I said this last week too, is like, I think we may get this answer down the road, is what is the real like main objective of the whole Judgment Day act? You know, like what is Edge's motive, so to speak? And I think maybe that's a story that they're trying to tell down the road. Like, I like the idea of them recruiting and stuff, but like a heel, well, I mean, more or less every character, there's always a motive. Like, why are they doing what they're doing? What is their motive as a stable, so to speak? You know, and maybe this is something that we may get answers to later on. But I thought the promo segment itself was pretty good. The mixed tag was okay for what it was. No Finn Balor, which was kind of hilarious, so to speak. But the only critique I have about this,
he was busy eating in the concession stands. Okay.
the only critique I have with this is that I feel like I've seen this like iteration of the whole Edge's stable kicking AJ and his friends freaking butt every week for the last like month and a half. Like, it seems like, you know, it's like every segment, with the exception, I think, last week, I suppose, where the baby faces are always down, so to speak. You know,
that's classic. That's classic storytelling. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that, but that's just something that I noticed. I was like, huh, you don't ever really see the heels retreating, you know, in this story. I'm not saying it ever happens, but you tend to see, you know, Edge's stable always standing tall, so to speak. You know, maybe this might lead to
like that. Yeah, like the picture.
Yeah,
There was thing on the screen right now.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah. I feel like we've seen that. That's always the last image of the story for the last 4 to 5 weeks or so. You know,
I'm gonna
not saying it's a bad thing.
Well,
Not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying something I just noticed.
I know, I noticed it too, but I'm gonna rewind. We're gonna talk about the promo, because in the promo, I don't think anybody really paid attention to it. Edge actually played into the rumors of Corey Graves and Tommaso Ciampa potentially joining the group. What do you think about that, heel?
First off, I don't know. I don't even know if Corey Graves is cleared to even wrestle, but it would be fascinating. But I'm so used to him as a commentator. I don't even know how I would feel about it.
I think he is cleared. He was cleared to wrestle like 2 months ago.
But as for Tommaso Ciampa, it would be interesting. I mean, as far as I know, they're not really doing anything with him. So yeah, him and Judgment Day would make a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want me to keep it reiterating, yeah, like Judgment. I love Judgment Day's aura, as we saw even earlier before even that one. Yeah, their aura and everything is really unique, and I like it. If anything, you could argue this is Edge's best work, especially since it's rated R, gimmick.
Okay, now MK, what about you? What did you think about the promo?
I mean, like I said earlier, I thought the promo was really good. But as far as to answer your question about with Edge mentioning those names, look, I think that's the intrigue right now with who's gonna join next, and I think that's the story that they were telling throughout the entire last couple of weeks is who's gonna join next. Could it be Ciampa, which that would be cool, but we'll have to wait and see. It was surprising that Edge was posting these kind of pictures on Facebook and not Facebook,
Facebook,
not Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for the last week or so. Like, it was posting pictures of like Corey Graves and Paige and whatnot, and it's like, oh, okay, so he's playing into the.
Yeah, I can imagine Ez's post on Facebook. He's typing on a laptop or whatever, and he's like, couldn't find a member for the Judgment Day yet, but luckily I still have Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest.
People.
Mondays.
I mean. To be fair, I know. The thing is, people are talking about Tommaso Ciampa and all these guys joining the group. I'm just saying, why don't you just bring in D'Lo Brown? He could be a great fit to the group.
No. Just stop. Stop.
It's a joke.
So you know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
I think D'Lo Brown will make an excellent addition to the group with his head shakes and whatnot.
You're done. You're done, Samurai. All right,
the crowd is not saying boo; they're saying boo earns. No, I'm kidding.
No, Samurai.
Did I miss something? I think I missed something. I might have missed something. I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, the one thing we didn't talk about was the promo between Bobby Lashley and his challenge that happened. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
Okay, MK, what did you think about the promo?
Man, Lashley is over, and I like Lashley a lot. Not very strong on the microphone. I don't know what's up with the company making this guy memorize a bunch of lines. I feel like Lashley works best if his promos are short and sweet and to the point. Having these 5-minute back and forths or these 10-minute back and forths it's not suited for him. I
think they are in certain aspects, because in the promo, he was actually like you said, he's actually really over, and he was cutting a promo about the feud, and actually when MVP comes out, I don't know if it's just him and MVP or the fact that MVP's with Omos, but they do have good chemistry when he comes out, and then the crowd gets behind Bobby Lashley a lot, actually.
No, I get that, but I'm talking about just Lashley's promo itself.
It was a good promo. Like, what was it great at all? No, but it was still a good promo.
It's not necessarily Lashley's. I mean, to be fair, as great Lashley isn't really that strong on the microphone to begin with.
No, he's not, and I'll give you that, but it was still a good promo. You got to give him that.
I'm not saying it's the worst. I'm not saying it's the worst.
He did his job. He got the crowd to react. He got the feud over, and
what I'm saying is, I'm not saying like he didn't get a reaction or anything like that, and I'm not saying people don't care about the feud either. What I'm just saying, it's like, the one thing I noticed, and this has been happening with his promos for a while, where I feel like they stretch out too long to where it's like you can tell like he's memorizing shit. He's speaking way too fast. He's trying to get every word in to the too fast, and it doesn't come off very natural, right? I'm not saying this is Lashley's fault per se, right? But this is just what they're giving to him.
Well,
right?
That was my problem too. In his defense, of Forrest Hammer, I became the new host, and I'm not a bad entertainer.
Point is, I think it would be the promo would be. I think Lashley's promos would be more effective, so to speak, if let's say it's a lot shorter and to the point. When he does those backstage segments of just looking to the camera and getting angry and shit, it works.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it didn't feel that long. I don't know.
It kind of felt long on my end because I was like, okay, I get where you're going with this, and that's fine. And I actually like the feud. I know some people don't like this; they want it to be done. I'm like, I like this feud with him and Omos. I do. I feel like if they could have condensed it a little bit more, I think it would have worked better, right? But that's just me because I've seen Lashley had better segments and better promos than this.
Fair enough, but to me, it did what it had to do.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
ahead,
The next thing we're going to talk about here is the King's Court. The King's Court with Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh boy. Boy.
I mean, we had Jerry come out and basically cut a promo on Brim Mahan. Brim Mahan comes out and says nothing, and then Jerry makes some jokes, and then Veer basically just got angry and said things about Dominic and Rey Mysterio, and then that's where Veer was going to, I guess, attack Jerry, but then the Mysterios came up for the save, and that was it. What do you think about the segment, MK and or West and heel?
Well, first off, you can call me heel, okay?
It's hard to do that, and I know your damn name.
Yeah, I know your name too, but I'm still calling you Samurai. Anyway, you want to talk about corny jokes? That was Jerry the King Lawler. This. Oh my god,
it was terrible.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I don't blame Veer Mahan this time for wanting to send someone to the ambulance. At least kayfabe wise. Let's not take that out of context. Yeah, because those jokes are just, it was they were bad, especially the Bigfoot one. And I'm just like, I was like, Jerry, let's just. It's a good thing you're not on the mic that much anymore, man. I'm like, if you do, just go back to commentary, I guess. Other than that, though, stay away from the mic.
This whole segment, oh my god,
hold on, before you start. I saw its purpose. It did good for its purpose, but the starting of the segment, it had mixed feelings. I'll say that.
To be honest, here's my whole thing of the whole segment. So the corny jokes was just cringe, and to be honest with you, Veer Mahan, when they were asking him why is he attacking the Mysterios for these last couple weeks or so, he didn't really. The problem I hate is when they don't give a clear reason for why a certain person does this or that on TV, and it's well, the reason why I attack Rey Mysterio is because he's a legend and he has a kid, and he's keep tagging with his kid. That's why I'm attacking them. Which I'm like, okay, but what does that really have to do with you? So it's it gives you a weird. That's not even a good valid reason to.
Well, the way I interpreted it, and sorry to cut you off, is the way I saw it is he was attacking Rey Mysterio and his kid in order to get his name out there, in order to make a statement.
He could have said that. He could have just said, "Well, Rey's a legend." He didn't. He didn't though. He literally said
in the but in the most Bigfoot way. He's like, I attacked.
That's not even Bigfoot way. Dude, come on. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. That was not if they would have said, "Oh, I want to attack Rey because he's a legend and I want to make a name for myself." Okay, I can understand that. But he
That's
said,
basically what he said. But
no,
it,
he didn't even say that. He said, I attack Ray because he's a legend, and he's a legend that he has to hang around with his kid, right? He's like, well, okay, what does that even mean? Like,
I understand where
he
you're
could,
coming from, though.
it's just, I'm just going by, and then okay, I'm like, all right, whatever. And then the Mysterios came out, and I'm like, okay, great. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, bro, can we just send Junior, aka Dominic? Can we just send him to like NXT for like 9 months or so? Like,
That's where he belongs. Honestly,
I'm like, look, no hate to Dominic, but I'm like everybody else. I'm like, just send this guy to NXT for like 9 months. In the
Am I the
meantime,
only one here that actually likes Dominic on the main
I don't,
roster?
I don't hate Dominic, but I think he needs more seasoning. I'm not saying he needs to stay there for a year, maybe 6 to 9 months at least. Just have him come back by like the end of the year or something. You know what I mean? Like, if he goes to NXT now and spends a good 6 months, comes back around like Royal Rumble time next year, like, okay, great. At least he'll get a little bit more seasoning in, because oh boy. And I don't know what's with this obsession with people wanting Ray and Dominic to feud. I'm just like, ugh, no. I think Dominic needs to hone his skills more. And I don't hate Dominic. I actually like him. I think he needs a little bit more seasoning down there. You
I
know?
mean, it's fair, but I mean, I don't know. I personally like Dominic. Maybe it's just me being a big Lucha mark and the fact that he comes from the legendary Mysterio family.
I know
But
people hate. I know people detest Dominic. I don't. It's just I think maybe look, he can even do both. Honestly, he can wrestle on NXT and on Raw if he wants to. People do that all the time back in the day, right?
oh
He can
yeah,
get some. Yeah, he can get just to get more experience, right? So that's why I say he doesn't even need to be there that long, because he's had that main roster exposure for almost 2 years
but a
now.
Dominic screen though. What about Veer though?
I mean, Veer has been on what, developmental for like for a few years now. Like Dominic, people forget like
Okay,
his first.
maybe I'm being too harsh because maybe it is just the gimmick or
Well,
how
yeah,
it's portrayed.
and honestly, here's the thing about Veer. I think there's a lot of potential in Veer. It's just that I don't know why they're having this guy screaming his promos. Can you just talk like a normal human being? You know, like I'm like, bro, like when he was talking to Jerry, I'm like, why is he screaming? Could
Yeah,
he like why? Can he just like talk like? Can he just talk like an intimidating person? You know?
like I said, bullet points. They need to really
I don't even think
implement the
it's
bullet
bullet
point
points.
system.
I don't even think it's that. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is they don't really have a direction with this character. And when we first saw him during at least technically saw him, is when he was in like the hotel room or whatever at WrestleMania. They immediately gave us the perception of, oh, okay, this is gonna be basically like the Indian version of Berto Del Rio, and we were like, oh, this is gonna be actually new and refreshing, like an Indian rich
Indian version
guy.
of Indian rich. Where are you getting from? They're packaging this guy like as if he was the next Umaga out here destroying people. Where did you get the Del Rio part coming from?
He was in Dallas in like a really nice hotel and all that.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah,
To be fair, on social media he does have those. On social media he does post a lot of those like pictures of him looking like fancy and shit. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, okay, okay,
So I'm
okay.
like, why not build him up like that instead of the fact that,
Yeah.
I'm the big guy. I come and I send you to ambulance, and then I leave.
I always hate this idea that why they make Indian wrestlers heels, right? Like, can you at least make one of them a baby face?
Ali.
I mean, Kali was a baby face, but I'm talking about when they take him seriously, not when they make him into a joke. You know, I'm just saying. But nonetheless, I
Hey,
think,
how do you
yeah.
think the Irish feel? They had Hornswoggle.
Mm. Okay, let's move on. Okay,
All
let's
right,
let's move on.
all right.
The next match we had Nikki ASH,
Nikki,
Nikki
yeah.
Cross versus Alexa Bliss, and basically, it was for what it was. It was an okay match.
I
Um,
don't.
I mean,
Yeah, didn't before
No,
that, whatever, didn't Alexa Bliss cut a promo or something like that?
I
yeah, she
think she
did. She
did
cut up
before she
like
came out. Yeah, I don't know what she
yeah,
said. I didn't catch it.
honestly, it wasn't really much. It was just her saying,
I
"I'm
have
glad
a
to be back."
dog.
I'm glad to be back, and Nikki was my best friend, and now she's not, and that's why I'm in the ring. And the match was what it was. It's nothing really to go home about. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
just something for Alexa to do.
It was basically, I have a nice job because I used to be with the Fiend, basically. And by the way, I'm here to beat up my former friend, whatever, Nikki Almost Superhero.
Well, to be fair, that's not what she said. But all right.
I know
I
it's not
mean,
what she said, but that's how it came across.
it's basically it's the Cliff Notes version. I mean, so we had the match. I mean,
Yeah, see that? I know it's a different program, but see that AEW fans, I can get on the WWE females for being cringy too. Equality, okay? See, I'm all
we
about
had the match, which was
You just said you eat quality.
equality.
Oh, I thought you said you eat quality. I'm like, what?
Hey, if it's a food and it tastes good, I'll eat it. But anyway,
Oh God.
I don't know what's going on right now, but
Anyways, but yeah, the match, yeah.
we have to
Yeah.
talk about the match. So basically, it was it was a quick match. It was for what it was, like I said, what it was good. I mean, it wasn't really anything that takes the cake. So
Yeah.
Same
what
here.
did you think about the match, MK?
Yeah,
We'll go
same
into
thing
the
like
match.
you said. Same thing like you. I don't really got much comments to say about this.
Yeah,
What about you, Hill?
honestly, when the match happened, I was just like, okay, Alexa Bliss is back. That's cool. Nikki Almost Superhero made her entrance. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I was like, the match starts. I'm like, ding ding. I'm like, now how many cares do I give? I'm like, I don't know, probably none. Fight.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So basically, she gets the win with the Twisted Bliss, and that's that.
You mean
The
tell me
next,
Alexa Bliss won again?
yeah, she won again.
Oh
Now,
no.
okay, the next match was Cody Rhodes and The Miz.
Yes, your real main event.
Okay, the next match was Cody Rhodes and The Miz. Basically, I'm waiting for the picture to come up, but it's not coming up yet.
But anyway, they built up this match with a promo by The Miz before this match. I remember that.
Yes, they do that.
Yeah, and by the way, The Miz, like I said, I rinse and repeat, everything he touches is gold. And he called himself the Kardashian of the WWE because everyone has to pay attention to what he's always doing, which is actually true.
What do you think about that, MK?
I mean, it's typical Miz promo. I mean, that's what it was.
You're a typical MK promo.
Okay, alright. I mean, I like the Miz, but I mean, I'm a big fan of the Miz, but I mean, it's just kind of regular Miz promo. I mean, what can you say?
You're a typical MK promo.
Okay. So we go from that. We go into the match.
The match itself, I mean, it was kind of there for me per se. I feel like the bigger story came out happening after the match.
Oh, we're gonna have to emphasize what happened before the match. So Cody Rhodes gives a fan his belt.
That's right. You better pay attention to the screen, because I'm awesome.
So why did he sound like you're taking a dump when you said awesome?
I don't know. Anyway, so he gives his belt to a fan. Now, as he does this, the fan's happy. The match starts. Halfway through the match, Seth Rollins comes out, pushes Cody off the top rope. Him and The Miz attack. He smashes his knee against the steel steps, and The Miz gets the fans the belt from the fan, and he hits him over the back with it.
You mean Seth did?
What I said, Miz? I meant to say I meant to say Seth.
Yeah.
I'm confused. All
Pay
right.
attention. I know you're still green, but pay attention.
Damn, you gotta be so mean.
It's the Miz match. You have to pay attention.
So anyway, that happened. So what did you think about the
It's not just that happened. Okay, when the Miz is on TV, it is like greatness blessing you with this presence. You
All
have
right,
to.
man. All right. Stop cutting a
Anyway,
promo, my guy. Stop cutting a promo. Anyways, continue on,
You
Samurai.
so
should be honored
let's
that he graces you with
let's
your
let,
presence
let,
on
let,
TV.
let's get your thoughts on the subsequent beatdown of the Miz. I mean of Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I thought the segment was the post match stuff was pretty good. You know, what I really loved was when Cody gave the belt back to the fan, and the crowd really cheered for that, which was pretty cool. Um, yeah, and one other thing I will say is that for the last like week or two, they've been doing this whole Cody stopwatch. Every single because they did this last week where every time at 10 o'clock Eastern, Cody Rhodes shows up, which I feel like that's kind of a you're making Cody Rhodes seem like an even bigger deal, you know. So
Yeah,
that's cool,
I mean, realistically, do you think that Cody Rhodes is they're gonna make Cody Rhodes stale to that extent?
I don't know. It depends on the feuds and the stories that they're giving. If if um if the storylines are interesting, right, then it wouldn't get. It depends on the story if it's interesting or not. Otherwise, if he's still wrestling Seth Rollins like another 3 months, then okay, then I can understand it being stale. Because right now we still haven't really scratched the surface with Cody right now, you know. So we'll have to see what happens within the next few months or so and see where it goes.
Very well, very well. Heel.
Oh, this match was amazing. And I just gotta say, Seth Rollins grabbing the belt from the fan was an amazing heel move too. Uh, if that kid was any younger, he might have broke out crying, which would have made it even better. That's what my initial thoughts were. I don't know if he did end up crying or not. That would have made it even uh, a jillion times better.
Well, the kid was
And
12. 12-year-olds don't cry. Oh,
okay, well, sometimes they do. Depends what you do. And Seth just beating him up with it. That was again. I'm not just saying this because the Miz was in there. I give this whole segment in a match a chef's kiss.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, because
Um,
this helps Cody. This helps the Miz. This helps Rollins. This whole thing helps everybody. There was no losers in this
Now, do
match.
you
This
think that
segment.
he should not do the Cody Cutter as much? Because apparently, when he's doing it with certain people, it gets it's kind of sloppy, I guess.
No, he should just work on it. That's really it.
I mean, basically, it's just a springboard cutter.
If that's true, he should just work on it. I mean, that's it.
MK, what do you think?
Not honestly. I don't really have an issue with the Cody cutter per se, but the only nitpick I would say with Cody is that I feel like, and I noticed it with the Seth Rollins matches, he's letting people kick out of the crossroads a little bit too frequent. Like people shouldn't be kicking out of the crossroads as frequent as they do. I think that's one nitpick that I have is because it took three crossroads to beat Seth, and even he kicked out one at the last pay-per-view. So that's something that they may need to work on with Cody. But I don't know. That's maybe like one small nitpick I have with it, but it is what it is.
I feel like I'm just gonna say this, and
Go
it's just
ahead.
my opinion. I feel like they shouldn't be kicking out finishers at all. That's the name of that's what they're there for. They're finishers. They finish the match.
True. I mean, that's
You can cook out of them sometimes because you got to remember the age we're in too. I'm okay with a person kicking out of like maybe one or two finishers, depending on like how big of the stage it is and how big of the feud too. But I do agree sometimes that it should take only one finisher, depending on like the match or where it's at and all that. Because like it's just a matter of getting with the times.
I actually agree with Samurai here. They not just a WWE thing, but just wrestling in general. I think they need to start really protecting finishers more.
They
Right?
do.
Like sometimes in moderation, so to speak, where it's like a really big match where it's a really big story, maybe one or two kickouts, rarely, that's fine, but not like. And
Every
in
single match.
but I will say with WWE, you see it less frequently, week to week, right? But yeah, it's still kind of an issue where it's like, why is, and not even just the finishers, like why does every match have to be freaking 20 minutes long on
Yeah, I
TV?
know.
I'm just,
And
I
I agree with that. It just depends for me on the feud in the match. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, so next.
The next segment, which was this is my job, Muhammad, not yours.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, where are we at? I'm okay. So the next thing was Chad Gable versus Ezekiel, which happened, I guess. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. It's just it's getting kind of boring. Rinse and repeat. What do you think, Wes Heel?
I'm actually okay with this feud because I feel like it's helping getting Ezekiel over. Obviously, as you saw, Chad Gable kept complaining to the ref, I believe. And at the end of this, obviously, you had Kevin Owens come out and challenge Chad Gable to match at Hell in a Cell, I believe it was.
Chad Gable. It was Ezekiel.
No, yeah, Ezekiel. Sorry, I don't know why I said Chad Gable. Probably because we were talking about him. But the only question I would have is every match going to be inside Hell in a Cell? Because that's the case, then I'm all in for this match. That just increased this match by tenfold. But if not, it's still going to be a good match. Like
MK, what do you think?
Much I agree with. I'm kind of in the same boat with you, Samurai. Like the match was just what it was. I feel like I've seen Chad Gable versus Ezekiel like 2 or 3 times now within the past 6 weeks.
But it's helping though. But I do agree. I do agree though. They got to stop it eventually.
Look, I'm not. Like I said, it's. I don't mind the match per se, but if I feel like if I'm seeing the same match without little to no progress, then it's kind of like okay, it's like when they were doing Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn for like 4 weeks in a row on SmackDown a month ago. It's like, or actually, worst case yet, when they were doing the whole New Day versus Sheamus and Friends match like every week on SmackDown for like 3 months. It gets really tiresome. Not saying this is to that level, but in terms of the feud itself between KO and Ezekiel, it's actually one of the highlights of WWE right now. And let's see where they go with the match at the event next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Yeah, but this is what WWE does. Sorry, Samuel, but this is what WWE does, though. They try their best to really get stories over. So as soon as the story's over, like don't worry, you'll get something new to bite on.
I mean, look, I'm not denying that the story isn't interesting. Is that the one issue that I have sometimes that they do? It's like sometimes you see a lot of these matches in repeat with little where it's just like, oh, where is the story going? The story with KO and Ezekiel I have no issue with. It's just I don't necessarily need to see Chad Gable versus Ezekiel for the story to continue. If it was, let's say,
especially if Chad Gable is losing. Come on, Chad has something.
And not even just that. Like, if you're gonna do this similar, why don't you just do Ezekiel versus Otis instead? You haven't seen that yet.
Nope.
So it's like you could just done that, or you do like a tag match or something. Other than just doing this match again. I'm just saying they could have done something different. Again, it is what it is. But I love him. Even with Chad Gable and Otis being a part of this, it's entertaining. But just we don't need to see the same match over again.
Exactly. So the next segment we have is Bobby Lashley versus MVP. The winner of the match chooses stipulation for the Omos match at Hell in a Cell.
Match what it was. I was surprised that MVP did win here. I thought Lashley was gonna win this here again, but they did the count out thing, which I was like, okay. I mean, they kind of have to give something to the heels, right? So yeah, I mean, the match just was what it was, I suppose.
Wait, you're telling me someone got counted out actually?
Yeah, I mean, Lashley.
Oh my
That's.
god! Someone actually did not get in on the count of 9.
Did you see the match?
I know, I did. I'm just saying, like that actually happened.
Yeah, but also it was because of Omos.
I know. I'm just saying, like it's.
He was trying to be sarcastic and it failed. Like, how do
It
you
did.
fail How do you fail sarcasm?
It doesn't fail. It's like everyone literally gets in on the count of 9. So when someone gets counted out or gets in before 9, it's like, or sorry.
Okay, he's botching how to be sarcastic, but anyways, so yeah, continue on, Samurai.
Well, basically, the premise of the match was basically whoever won got to choose a stipulation between Omos and Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell. So with the MVP winning, what do you think the stipulation will be next week that he chooses?
The stipulation has actually been made official via Raw Talk that they did on it's the exclusive show they do on Peacock on the network, Raw Talk.
Yeah, I
And
don't watch that. So.
yeah, so I just saw the clip on Twitter, and apparently the stipulation is it's a 2-on-1 handicap match at the pay-per-view. So it went so it's yeah, so which I actually did expect they were gonna go with this way anyways, where they will do a 2-on-1 handicap match, with Omos and MVP versus Lashley. So yeah, and that's pretty much. I didn't expect this match being inside the cell because it wasn't a big personal feud that needed to be inside the cell.
Not like Cody and Seth.
I mean, even Seth and Cody to a certain extent doesn't necessarily need the cell either. But I guess if you want to put the cell,
no, it definitely. If you pay attention, if you pay attention to how Cody and Seth has been transpiring, it definitely belongs inside the Hell in a Cell. What other matches are on the card that belong inside Hell in a Cell?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that, but I'm not saying like even with Cody and Seth Rollins, it's personal, but it's not that personal to where it's like it's not like as personal like
oh, and it's gonna be in a cell. Let's just.
I don't know. I mean, it is in a cell, but
yeah,
it's not as personal as let's say like the Rollins Edge feud from last year. There's something there, but it's one of the big problems that WWE has with these Hell in a Cell pay-per-views, where it's like, oh, it's June, so therefore we need to put a match inside the cell. Not that it's weird, but overall it's like, okay, they're doing a 2-on-1 handicap match, which I mean, like, okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I suppose.
With me, I don't understand why every match can't be a Hell in a Cell, but then again, I understand why not too. But for me, it's kind of funny though. But it's like, oh, you get to pick the stipulation, and then you're staring at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. You're like, no, not that one. Actually, I don't want to torture my opponent in Hell in a Cell. I want to be nice enough to do a 2-on-1. Yeah, I don't know why I find that kind of funny, but that's just me. But yeah, I mean, this match was what it was. It was just kind of fun to watch, and plus, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of miss seeing MVP wrestle on a weekly basis because, like, I liked MVP back in the day. I'm coming. I
mean, I'm not sure what's going on, but I had technical difficulties and it was horrible. Let's see. The next thing was exactly the main event, which was Asuka versus Becky Lynch.
Fun match.
It was a match.
It was a match.
No, I said it was fun match.
I know, and he's like, it was a match. Don't forget the simulation. If Becky wins, she gets added to the match.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. She did that stipulation. Now, did either one of you see Becky Lynch losing the match?
This match here, no.
Honestly, no. As soon as that stipulation was made, I'm like, there's no way she's losing. And honestly, here's one thing I don't get with WWE's booking. It's like you had a number one contenders match last week, but yet you're still gonna find a way to add Becky. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do you do?
I guess that was the idea. If because look, they're not gonna do because Asuka and Becky Lynch are the ones feuding with each other right now. But since with the whole, you know, Naomi and Sasha thing kind of screwing things up right now, I guess they had to put this match in a three-way, so to speak. Like I would assume this was a match they would have done like maybe
Yeah.
at down the road, but they kind of just rushed it right now. You know, that's
Yeah.
why.
There's also some news on that, but we'll get into that after the review.
I'll give you WWE this though. They did highlight the fact that Asuka kind of cheated last week, so maybe maybe that's why they gave him more of the reason to do this. So it kind of just felt weird booking, but it sounded like they did a segment where it's like Becky went to the GM and was like, "Listen to this match or whatever." I don't know, I don't know, kind of felt weird. But I was like, okay, I'm like, I guess we can do it because why? Because Becky, I guess.
You know, one thing I did notice too, if you look at the Hell in a Cell card right now, there's no SmackDown matches. I just took that in. They only announced 4 matches for this pay-per-view, and all of them are from Raw. So that's
Because
one thing
who needs SmackDown?
I was like, is this a Raw exclusive pay-per-view? Are we bringing back brand exclusive shows now?
No one needs SmackDown.
I mean, to be fair, SmackDown has a very super light roster right now, but yeah, that's something I just noticed right now. But anyways, so yeah, that's was my thoughts on the main event.
Yeah, it was a good match though, like without a doubt. Obviously, basically they end up fighting outside, and then they would bump into Bianca Belair, and then Asuka would barely beat the 10 count. Like we highlighted earlier, and then Becky would win.
She actually, before all that, she actually hit Bianca Belair with a stiff
Yeah,
kick to the face.
Yeah. Roadhouse. You know, like Family Guy. but I thought Becky win. I'll be honest with you, on a weak pin because she didn't even roll her up. She just kind of like did that pin, and I was like, "You're not gonna kick out." Okay, we're not gonna kick out.
Yeah, I was saying, when I watched it, I'm like, what? Becky,
Yeah.
I mean, you could have kicked out Asuka, but you chose not to.
Yeah, I guess she was like, you know what? It's almost time for the show to end, and plus I'm more focused on catering because they got excellent muffins. Let's just focus more on that. I don't know.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but overall, what would you rate the show?
It's a solid C. Like I give it a C. You know, they did build a little bit to Hell in a Cell, but in terms of like the matches, not much. A little bit of repetition, but it did okay. It was an okay Raw. You know, it was okay.
I don't know why, but I had fun with this episode of Raw. I'm gonna give probably a B-.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a C plus.
Okay.
So me and Luther are sorry, bro. You see, now you got me in the habit. Me and Samurai around the same range, and you're not that far behind Samurai. So, we're kind of like in an ABC order here in a weird way.
Yes. So now, as our producer wants us to do, he wants to talk about the upcoming NXT show.
Yes.
So we have Braun Breaker versus Duke Hudson in the main event of that show. And then we also have, come on, next picture.
Next picture.
We have the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament semifinals. Nikita Lyons is actually, I believe she's injured, so they replaced her with Tiffany Stratton. And we also have another one, which is the tag. Yeah, there you go. The tag team match between which with Casey Catanzaro and what's her name?
Wow, the Casey girl's kind of hot.
Yeah, she's some Ricochet's very lucky. Ricochet's a very lucky man.
Ricochet's a lucky man.
And then we have Indy Hartwell.
Are you blushing back there talking about the women's matches? So what's going on?
We have Indy Hartwell versus Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship as well.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I don't know if you watch NXT, but that looks like it's a good card so far.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, I'm just sitting here, like looking at the card.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do know Braun Breaker's like taking over the world, and he's one of the most like anticipated wrestlers. I'm gonna say anticipated because you never know what's gonna happen once he gets to the main roster. Because the main roster is where the big boys play. So yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with you on that standpoint, but at the same time, we are going to have to wait and see.
Indeed, Saya. So,
what do you think about all that, MK? You're muted, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What do you think about all that?
Well, there he is.
Not really much to say. Not really much to make comment about with NXT right now. So,
wow. I mean, NXT is it's for what it is. Like, it's a developmental brand. That's what they turned it into when it was their third reign.
Yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with nothing against 2.0. Just I haven't been keeping up with it the last month or so. So yeah.
I mean, there will be botches. That's all I can say.
There will be botches.
I mean, I know they're doing NXT in your house next Saturday, I believe. So
I like how this man, like, his job is to sell the pay-per-view, and he's like, you know what, guys, the one thing to look forward to is there will be botches.
Yeah. So all right. So yeah.
What's next, Saya?
What is next? I mean, that's we covered everything.
Well, there you go then.
Unless Kevin has something he wants to say, but backstage row over here. Backstage producer, hello.
I guess that's it then. Yeah.
I'm awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up!
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab a bat, I don't know, my wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad.
Hi, bye. Like, share, subscribe, bye.